Welcome back to Broke Till Friday podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and if you do, you'll get a cookie, which is apparently a thing you want to say so that people subscribe, because if you promise them something, statistically speaking, psychologically speaking, they're more inclined to do it.
Irrelevant if you give it to them.
Exactly. Like in Mr. Beast's videos, he always goes, subscribe for a cookie, or he goes, subscribe and maybe I'll give you $1 million, LOL, right? All these things that cannot actually be proven, but hey, he does them. But here's some things that can be
Subscribe
proven.
and you'll get my cut off dick.
Exactly. Yeah, no, Mr. Beast, that's pretty much it. There's a bunch of negative headlines surrounding Mr. Beast. And it's funny because people online are like, oh my god, how is he ever going to recover from this? But if you look at his comments, all of his comments are positive. All the negative ones have been like just actively removed because he knows exactly what he has to do. Right? Just keep scrubbing the internet.
Also, because he doesn't have to do it. Like
exactly.
One of the main
just
things
hire
that,
someone.
Yeah. One of the main things other YouTubers have to contend with is that they themselves have to fucking. I don't know. Why am I don't know. Like filter those comments out, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Beast doesn't. He's fucking wealthy as hell.
He has a team to do it.
Yeah.
So with his recent Amazon Video reality series, Beast Games, the New York Times reported that more than a dozen participants had spoken out over unsafe conditions and a lack of access to food and medical care. Prior to that, Donaldson himself was forced to address past inappropriate language he had made that veered into straight-up racism. A former collaborator, Ava Chris Tyson, was accused of inappropriate behavior towards minors. The most damning accusations came from a YouTuber known as Dogpack404, who claimed to be a former Mr. Beast employee. He alleged that various videos produced by the channel were faked, as were various competitions designed to entice subscribers. Another former employee alleged in one of these videos that they'd been manipulated and mistreated for the purposes of a video, which left them with long-term troubles. They further lambasted Jimmy Donaldson for allegedly employing a registered sex offender who appeared in some of his videos.
Uh-oh.
Now that was the craziest thing. What'd they call him? Fucking Delaware?
Delaware?
Yeah, it was crazy. The fact that Delaware,
oopsie,
they found his record, right? I know they're saying alleged because they don't want to get sued or anything, right? But they found his record. They found his
record. That's not alleged anymore.
And then they matched it up. They matched it up with like the little neck things that he had, the little
tattoos.
No, not tattoos. Fuck, just the dots. What are the dots called? I mean, freckles.
Birthmarks.
Freckles, like the little fucking.
Yeah, birthmarks.
No, these aren't birthmarks. They're called something else.
Manchas.
No, that's not the same thing. Freckles versus birthmarks. Fuck, why am I forgetting?
Freckles can be birthmarks.
Mole. There we go. Moles. These are moles. Okay. So yeah, they were matching up the little moles that he had on the side of the neck and everything. Yeah, in response for comment from Mr. Beast, a spokesperson pointed out to a memo Donaldson sent last week to his team addressing an investigation into inappropriate behavior by people in the company. While noting that the investigation is still underway, Donaldson announced the implementation of sensitivity training and listening sessions, an anonymous reporting mechanism, and the planned hiring of a chief human resources officer, among other steps. Also, the fact they didn't really have a human resources
to begin with. Okay, like to be fair, all of this. He's like a zillennial or whatever the fuck, right? Like, this is like
Gen Z.
Common knowledge. Yeah, this is like common knowledge for our generation. Why isn't this there in the first place? Like, he's a multimillionaire.
Well, I think maybe because he's a YouTuber, so it's non-traditional media, so he doesn't go through the same steps. Like, that was one of the claims in the video, that he could just go, well, I didn't know I couldn't do that. You know, like, kind of feigning.
Well, that's what, like, that's the implication of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say, our generation knows about these things a little bit more than previous generations, right? So why doesn't he just already have those things implemented? And it's because he's a capitalist, of course. He's a major moneymaker.
So they were saying also how he's like a sociopath or something, right? That just he wants attention and stuff like that, right? And so let me see. So the Dogpack guy shared an interview with Jake Weddle, another former employee of Mr. Beast. You can see him in a bunch of the videos, right? So he claimed Mr. Beast knowingly hired a registered sex offender during his tenure. Let me see. So he knew the person's alleged history of not great stuff to some underage people, and that the YouTuber covered up the fact that he worked there by putting him in masks on camera. Waddle added that the person who's no longer employed by Mr. Beast was internally referred to as Delaware, because he couldn't go back to Delaware for some reason. I wonder why.
Oh, well, I was gonna
wonder
say,
why. I don't know. Right. So, and then the allegation began to make rounds on social media. And then the former employee Jake Franklin, known as Jake the Viking, issued a statement on Twitter, saying that Delaware was his brother-in-law. Franklin explained that his brother-in-law is a registered sex offender who took a plea deal with his accuser, and the charges are set to be dropped later this year. He was hired before I was. Well, so he's saying accuser, right? So it's like, who knows? Who knows, right?
Well, I don't know, because like if you're taking a plea deal,
so
they got something on you.
So the guy said this incident happened in 2010, and Delaware was hired in 2017, 2018. So he was supposed to be the behind-the-scenes manager. In a couple of videos, he was asked to partake because we needed people. He was reluctant because of his charges. That's why he wore the mask. And he wore the mask the dumbest way, because he's wearing it upside down when you should be wearing, like, if you cover your face down, it's a lot harder to tell who you are from the eyes, versus him, he had it like up here. He had the mask face up, and it's like, what a fucking moron. So that combined with Ava Chris Tyson quitting the channel after she was accused of sending inappropriate messages to a then 13-year-old when she was 20. So here's the other thing in that, another bombshell in that video. Or actually, no, that wasn't a bombshell in the video. This is a bombshell during the H3H3 podcast. Another former employee came out on the podcast live and was talking about how they were like, oh, this is a loli server. Ha ha ha. Hey, did you guys see that loli we posted earlier today? And they were talking about it a lot. And Mr. Beast specifically was referenced as one of the guys in that server, because they would always joke about it. So that tight circle of guys were always going, haha, look, I'm so edgy, it's so funny, like, did you see that loli today or whatever, right? But so that was the direct thing that was in there. And I know, like, there's some other parts, right, where, Tyson was on a server with someone and they messaged someone,
well,
right?
that one, the person who was supposedly groomed publicly came out and was like, no, this isn't what happened. We were just on a public Discord, and she made a couple jokes that I happened to see.
But
I don't know about that one.
But,
This
but,
one
but
was the bombshell one.
Yeah, the other one.
Because this that went through waves. It was discourse on Twitter for months. And
mostly anti-trans discourse.
Yeah.
if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Mostly Keemstar, dude. Keemstar was like the main perpetrator of that shit.
Keemstar adjacent, they had Boogie, right, on the LolCow show. And one of Boogie's friends was another fat guy, some other fat loser who somehow married. And he's like, oh, man, I just like masculine women, like, it's whatever. And there was a trans lady, and she was telling him, like, well, why do you like to jerk off to me, but yet you go and disrespect us on, like, Twitter and stuff like that? And then he was like, no, like, whatever. And then they bring on another trans lady, and she goes, yeah, I'm a she-male, and blah, 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 and I still have a dick. And then he's like, well, is your dick cute? And it's like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, because if you got a cute dick, then you're like, you look like my type. And then she was like, oh, thank you, blah, blah, blah. But it's just so funny how Keemstar has them on the podcast, and they're super like, oh, they're anti-trans supposedly, but yet they're the ones looking up the most pornography.
Transport,
yeah, and then also
it's because they fetishize. They fetishize.
Exactly. And he was literally propositioning her. Again, the guy is married, and the guy was going, I mean, if you guys want, I'll go on a date with her, and then if we get to like first base or whatever. But that's only if you guys want. Like, okay, dick, only if you guys want.
Like it's like we talked about this before, right? It's like the common reason why they have so much hate, because they hate themselves for like liking this kind of stuff. It's like self-flagellation. Yeah, flagellation. I don't even know what that word means right now.
Yeah, let me see. That's funny. Elon Musk said, if I die under mysterious circumstances, it's been nice knowing you. Mr. Beast said, if that happens, can I have Twitter? And Elon Musk said, okay. Mr. Beast is like, no takesy backsies. So, okay. Going back to Mr. Beast, the other thing was the illegal lotteries, right?
Yeah.
He's allegedly running illegal lotteries because he'll tell people, hey, I'm going to give 10 random people that repost this and follow me $25,000 for fun. The $250,000 my X video made, my Twitter video, right? I'll pick the winners in 72 hours. And that happened several times where he would go randomly saying, if you do this and buy something from me, I will give you money or whatever. And then people did that, and then they didn't get anything. Or some people it even went as so far as some people got specifically called out on stream by going like, "Hey, I'm calling out Abracadabra 123," and Abracadabra 123 at home was like, "Yeah, I won," and then he wrote to them. Fucking radio silence.
No.
And it's been like 5 years since the guy won too. So it's not,
Damn.
again, it's not anything new or recent. It's like this guy's been chasing down the team for like half a decade at this point, because that's how long Mr. Beast has been famous, right?
And you're never gonna reach Mr. Beast.
No.
Like let's be fair here. When you got a YouTube channel that size, you know, if you don't want to be contacted by someone, you can
won't be
choose to
contacted.
not be contacted. But I'm gonna be honest, it's not surprising. Like all this stuff about him skirting all these violations, like to get to the level of success that Mr. Beast has, especially on current YouTube, I feel like you have to be that type of person. Because like even flipping Matt Pat has the same accusation, not the exact same, but similar accusations against him, where like he had a hostile work environment, and like he wasn't nice to a lot of like the people working under him and separate people. Like to get to that level of success on current YouTube, or even like a little bit older YouTube, like you have to have a certain type of personality, right? Like I don't know. It just feels natural that when you have like 20+ million channel, there's some aspects of your personality that are gonna make things difficult for people.
Yeah. And so they were saying, right, Mr. Beast's videos are filmed in the same way as reality TV. It's scripted improv. The contestants in many of the videos are not random, but are often friends of friends or whatever, right? Because you'll see the same people in the same videos. And then there was a lady who came on the H3 podcast, and she was telling them the same thing, like, hey, I was basically going to be second place, but the way they edited it made it look like I got out almost first. Like I lost almost immediately, even though I was in second place. And they told us very specifically, you can't hide in the ceilings because it's like dangerous or whatever. And guess where the winner hid?
In the ceiling.
In the ceilings. Yeah, one of his guy friends is hiding in the ceilings, and it's like, come on, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Rigged.
Yes, straight up
Rigged.
rigged for most of the stuff, right?
Rigged.
The repeated illegal lotteries, duping viewers, mostly children, into buying shirts or chocolate bars for the chance to appear in a video or win a prize. So the illegal lottery, as defined, was, you know, it can't have like all three things. It just has to have two things, right? Like a call to action and no purchase necessary. All these kinds of things, right? Let's see. So illegal lottery definition, right? Illegal lottery definition.
I think one of the things is if you have to make a purchase, it's
Yep.
illegal.
A sweepstakes that requires a purchase or gives more entries to participants who made a purchase is an illegal lottery. Contestants may charge a fee, but do not qualify as lotteries because they lack the element of chance. In a contest, the prize is awarded on the basis of the entrant's skill. So a contest, when you're competing against each other, that's skill-based. Skill-based matchmaking, we'll call it, right? When a
Plug in code
sweepstakes-
broke till Friday for Skillshare.
Exactly. Sweepstakes. No. What's that super terrible gambling site?
Kick.
No. The other one. What's the one that they gamble on though? I know they gamble, like they show gambling on Kick.
Yeah.
Let's not advertise them. Anyways.
I don't know what the fuck the name is called. Dude.
Exactly.
Like CoffeeZilla covered it like 7
www.onlinecasino.com. Fucking whatever, right?
Yeah, Cayman Islands or something.
Yeah, some
Fuck,
bullshit.
that hurt my hand.
So the sweepstakes cannot require a purchase, and you cannot give more entries to participants who made a purchase, because then you're just going to entice, right? Oh, a rich person or whatever is going to buy up all things, win the lottery, whatever.
Buy 700 chocolate bars.
Exactly. So a sweepstakes has to be random, and a contest has to be based on skill. So because of the fact that he was going, hey, the next 1,000 people that buy something from me, you know, boom, you'll win something, which is by definition of the illegal lottery, illegal. Now this is different. If he goes, the next 1,000 subscribers, I'll put you all in a pool and then do a lottery that way, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
He would probably still legally have to say no purchase necessary or whatever, right? But again, that type would be random. But even then, when he did do that, he still didn't give people their prizes. So
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know. All of those lottery live streams, all those live streams with allegedly repeated illegal lotteries in them, have all been taken down.
Yeah, of
there's
course.
a couple of mirrors.
Burn
and
the
stuff
evidence.
Like that. Yeah, no, I think I feel like they straight up took him down probably like a couple hours afterwards.
Yeah.
Because maybe someone told him like, hey man, whatever. They were also faking signatures, which was crazy because
That's wild.
you're like, the guy's signing.
Oh, I
Jimmy-
remember this part. Yeah,
he's signing Jimmy's
I remember this
name.
part. Yeah.
He's signing. Oh, he's like, oh, it's me, Mr. Beast. And then he looked around like, oh, nobody saw that. And then he signed his own name, right?
Yeah.
One of the guys in the crew. But imagine, like,
That's fraud at that
that-
point, no?
that is. I feel like
that's
that
like,
is.
Well, not what I mean is like not just fraud in like the colloquial sense, which is like like me and you, like I just lie to you about something, like you can't really take legal action. But like they're purchasing a product that like the appeal of the product is that like Mr. Beast signed a T-shirt, right? Because they're going on purchase shirts.
Exactly. Yeah, they're buying stuff under the false.
It's legal
pretenses.
fraud.
No, I don't think it's legal.
Well, not
at that
legal.
point. That's what I'm saying. It's
by
just
law,
straight
it
up
is fraud. Yeah. By law, it is fraud.
It's just straight
Like
up fraud.
it is legally fraud.
And then Mr. Beast's lawyers sent a cease and desist to the guy who made the Mr. Beast is a fraud video.
Of course.
Because
I was gonna
why
say
not?
you can straight up tell, like this is like just a rule of thumb, obviously, like who is actually kind of guilty of their things because the second someone makes a video about it, they send a cease and desist. Like this shit happened with what's her face, Illuminati, the like, it was this like whole controversy a while back, where like she called out Legal for because like one of like Legal Eagle's editors wanted to get an effect from wanted to see how she did an effect, and it's like a common effect. They could have asked anyone, they just happened to ask her, and that led to like revealing like a whole bunch of like she was basically having like a slave encampment, not a slave encampment, she was like not paying people, or essentially like a company town in like a building basically for her YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And like the second someone did something, she sent out a cease and desist. Once someone puts out a video, that's why like my rule of thumb now is if they send a cease and desist after someone makes a call out video like that,
Double down.
Instantly, yeah, like instantly. I was like, okay, yeah, they probably did the shit. They probably did the shit.
Yep.
Like,
So dear Mr. Dogpack 404, this new firm whose white collar criminal defense practice is second to none, has, according to the website, right, has recently been retained by Mr. Beast YouTube and its founder, Jimmy Donaldson, regarding the unsettling news that you have embarked on a campaign to disparage Mr. Beast as a company and defame Jimmy Donaldson as an individual. Not only are your statements about Mr. Beast and Jimmy Donaldson untrue, they also violate the clear, binding, enforceable terms of your confidentiality and NDA, which you've shown in videos posted to the internet. And then he said, his little comment is, then prove it. You have all the footage, but instead of posting any, you've just been deleting more. He made a follow-up post of some texts that he was receiving. They were allegedly planning on claiming that he was on drugs. Someone Googled...
fuck, dude.
Right? Someone Googled the phrase.
That's insane.
And it looks like it's this law firm, right? So the law firm is the best in the industry. They represent literal multinational corporations,
Of course.
just like Tesla, Google, Nvidia, Qualcomm, OpenAI, SoundCloud, Exxon, Shell. The list goes on and on. They pay for their pay for attorneys are one of the highest in the industry. Insane that Mr. Beast's company has that kind of money.
Yeah.
Legal is arguably the most crucial expense for a company with an important public image. Yeah. And then pay the guy so you can make another video on how Mr. Beast tried to buy my silence, proof of payment, and then, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Beast's personal net worth is $500 million. He thinks in 2024 they would be on track to make $600 to $700 million in ad revenue. That's not
Fucking
including
hell,
anything
dude.
else. That's crazy. I hired a $1 lawyer. I hired a $1,000 lawyer. I hired a $100 million lawyer. They won a suit against the U.S. government for the Affordable Care Act a few months ago and were paid $185 million.
What?
They won a suit against the U.S. government.
What the fuck, dude?
Imagine.
See, this is why
being-
lawyers get a bad name.
No, I know, but imagine being so scared of like what can come out
Yeah.
that you hire someone that has won a case against the fucking U.S. government.
Fuck, dude.
They're
Fuck
the
this
best
shit.
litigators money can buy. Navy SEALs of the big firm boys. Holy shit.
See,
They represent FIFA, the Boeing. They represent Boeing. They represent Platinum Partners, Twitter.
See, for
Robert
a long
Kraft.
time, I was able to like convince myself that like, oh, like Mr. Like, cause like I have like like another rule of thumb. If your content is predicated on like making or shifting money, like Mr. Beast, like if you're selling or like glamorizing owning a lot of wealth, basically, like, you know, Mr. Beast does it a little bit, you know, with his $1 versus $1 million, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like other YouTubers, like the common, not the common, the usual suspects, fucking Grant Cardone, these types of people that glorify money. I feel like you're not really like a good person per se.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people whose content revolves specifically around that, like they're probably not good people. It's like my general rule of thumb. And for a long time I was like, oh, Mr. Beast isn't one of those. You know, yeah, he there's some sus stuff that he does, but that's more of an indictment of the system we live under. It's more of like, well, it sucks that Mr. Beast is doing this. He shouldn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
We pay taxes. That should cover this type of stuff. And this is just kind of like proving my rule of thumb is like, nope, I shouldn't have trusted it from the beginning. He's making his money off of like these types of weird ways of like making like $1 million. Like, oh yeah, oh wow, $1 million. Oh wow, like this. It's like, oh wow. You shouldn't trust people that make their content based off of that. I don't know. It's just, this is just like solidifying it for me. Like, I don't know why I was ever foolish enough to believe that Mr. Beast was
I know
was gonna be like a good person.
But that's
like
that's the genius of his marketing. He had crafted such an image, you know. And sure, maybe when he started out, maybe it was genuine, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, yeah. Because I remember the reason he blew up initially was because he counted to like 1 million, and it took a couple hours, and then he counted to 1 billion, and it took like over a day, or something like that, right? Something crazy. He was just going like, and he was like almost falling asleep halfway through. And those are some of his like first few videos, and then he started getting into like, oh, I gave $1,000 to a homeless person, right?
That's
start small.
when and
then, you know, it started growing from that. But to be fair, he didn't come up with that. Plenty of people had done that before, but he was doing it in such a way because he claims that he was doing basically nothing but trying to craft the perfect YouTube video when he came out of high school, because he didn't want to do college. He hated school.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do shit. And then his mom was like, are you still in school? He was like, yeah. And he was like lying to her. He would just go to the library all day, just research how to make a perfect YouTube video. And sure, maybe he's cracked the YouTube algorithm, right? He nowadays he has a team dedicated to thumbnails where they'll switch out the thumbnails if they see it's like, okay, switch this thumbnail here
if it's not hitting certain metrics.
Switch it here, and then switch it here, and then switch it here. Like, there was
they'll
one
redo
video.
old thumbnails too, right? Like
Yep,
for old
yep.
videos, like
Yep.
if they suddenly start doing less than what he expects, they'll switch old YouTube video thumbnails.
Yeah, or same thing where if for whatever reason maybe this video starts popping again because like Minecraft is relevant, whatever it is, boom, then you switch it up, but so he's got it down to a science now. But when he started out, I don't doubt that he was doing it just to get famous and, you know, whatever, because he always said, oh, I just want to be famous, you know, I just want to be known. But now that we know how far he's gone just to do that, I feel like it's a much deeper desire than just I want to be
Yeah.
famous. It's like potentially narcissism and sociopathy. How would you say it?
Yeah.
Where-
Well, I think to be famous on YouTube, you have to be at least a little narcissistic, because you have to like hearing your own voice. You have to want to be seen.
Us, bitches love to be narcissistic.
Yeah, I
We
will
bitches.
admit, I probably am a little bit narcissistic.
Yeah.
I'm riddled by social anxiety, but I probably am also a little bit narcissistic.
Sure, a little bit of attention doesn't
Yeah.
isn't bad, but I'm not gonna fucking throw my friends into a goddamn
wood chipper.
no, into the fucking solitary confinement
Yeah.
for a month and then go, you're fine.
Without turning off the lights, dude.
Yeah,
dude.
They
Imagine
were Geneva Conventioning his ass. They were like Geneva Convention, Geneva Suggestion, straight up.
Dude, imagine getting put
Horrifying.
through that shit just for Mr.
Just
Beast
for
video.
the memes.
Like,
And then it didn't even get fucking published. It was a canceled video, and then they had to redo it and whatever, right?
dude, the smell alone would drive me crazy. I would have quit, dude. I would have
Yeah.
quit. The smell that they were saying was coming from the fucking slushy machine, right?
Yeah, the ice cream machine. Yep.
Oh, dude. I can't, dude. It smell. My nose is so sensitive. I would have thrown up.
So it was Mr. Beast trapped in solitary confinement? Yeah, I spent 7 days in solitary confinement. Mr. Beast, right? Oh, okay. So first he spent 50 hours, right? He said 4 years ago. He spent 50 hours in solitary confinement, and then he spent 7 days in solitary confinement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vsauce did solitary confinement in 2017, 7 years ago.
Yeah, but he did
So
it before. I remember Minefield. I love that episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that episode, dude, it was that was an emotional episode because he was doing everything correctly, where everything was like
and he was still fucked.
yeah, he had a working bathroom. He had everything
Water,
done. You know,
food.
water and food. The lights turned off, etc., etc. But
Yeah.
and we saw how damaging it can be. Even just he was in there for like
He
2
literally
days
couldn't
or
really
3
speak.
days.
Yeah, he couldn't really speak
Yeah.
afterwards. He was like stuttering and like he's a famous. Everyone knows how fucking how Vsauce
Hey,
talks.
Vsauce, Michael
He
here.
couldn't talk like he couldn't really talk afterwards. Like if you see the video,
Yeah.
towards the end when he comes out, he's like stuttering and he's like,
And everyone's just like, holy shit, this is
Yeah.
horrifying. And he's like hallucinating, and he's like, I don't really know how much time passed. And like when he starts breaking down, and like at the end, it's really like it's honestly really sad. Because yeah, it's just your brain deprived of
Yeah.
stimulation.
It was
Everything
hard
is
to
white.
watch. It was hard to watch.
I was like, oh fuck, man, you know. And yeah, when Michael says good morning and he was only slept for like an hour and a half, it's weirdly disturbing.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so some of the effects from that video where he was reaching for the door but he couldn't tell if it was real. Anytime he would dream, he would dream about the door, and like he was like, I don't even know if he couldn't like, oh, it was fucked up for science, right? And he probably got some therapy after that. But the fact that they did that plus tortured the guy,
Yeah.
their own friend, and then on top of that, he didn't even get the $300,000, which was the worst
Oh, yeah,
part.
yeah, yeah.
He got like
Like-
30 grand, like 10% basically.
Why? What?
Because of the fact that he didn't. I don't even know why he signed some shit.
Dude, they can
'Cause
lick my balls.
I know,
Like,
dude.
I'm suing
But
for that
'cause,
shit.
Like Mr. Beast was like, oh, because I don't want you to. And then he says like I heard him say the S, and he said that he's still in therapy to this day because of that.
Dude, I
Like-
can't imagine not paying someone back $5. Like,
Oh my god, dude. Yeah. Let me
fuck,
see.
dude.
Yeah. So,
Hey,
I
do you
don't-
want to go get tortured for 30 grand?
honestly? Yeah.
Hey, YouTube, Edward here. You want to go get tortured?
Let me see,
Dude,
7
my
days
cancer
in
is straight
solitary.
though. Like low key, my cancer is straight. Is thinking that like I could do that. I could stay in solitary confinement for 7 days.
No, dude, I'd be so bored after like the third hour, dude.
Dude, like 30 minutes.
Because that's the thing. You would think, oh, you have to, you sleep, right? Obviously, and then you can exercise and stuff. But other than that, what are you gonna do? You're gonna start fucking picking at yourself. You
Yeah,
know?
dude,
Like-
I'm gonna come out with like my nails missing,
Yeah.
fucking stain the walls red.
So yeah, like he's keeping himself stimulated and stuff like that. But I don't even know if this one was real, to be honest. I feel like it probably wasn't.
We already know, dude. There's like there's a certain thing like you gotta trust people up to a certain point, and once they've already breached that, like we already know Mr. Beast fakes a lot of his videos. I see no reason to believe why this one would be real.
Yeah, because this is only
Like-
7 months ago, and this is deep into his faking of the video.
Yeah. Like, I have no reason to believe his earlier content is like legit, dude. Like once someone has like proven that they're willing to fake their stuff like on YouTube and claim that it is real, that claim that this is how it happened, I see no reason to believe that they've done anything of what they've said. Like
Yeah.
I just don't. Like I'll give them the initial benefit of the doubt. Like as long as nothing comes out that like they didn't do something, like all right, I assume you put yourself to you're telling the truth and you did put yourself 7 days in solitary confinement.
Yep.
You haven't lied yet, but once they do, it's the exact opposite. Like I have no reason to believe that like any of what he does is real. Honestly,
Yeah. And
are
again,
these
it's
even real scientists? They're just
who
people in lab coats.
knows?
Yeah.
Well, these are his
Oh,
friends in the
those,
lab coats,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's like, yeah, who knows how the other people are?
Yeah.
People are. And then the fact that he's like super relieved, he's like, "Oh man, that was crazy," and it's like, "Dick, sure, you spent 7 days in solitary
Yeah.
confinement. You're just like, yeah, it was great." Like we've seen the actual effects of it. but
Yeah.
whatever. We breaking the Geneva Convention with this one. Yo, somebody posted justice for Jake. Justice for Jake.
Dang.
If it wasn't for Weddle, this man would have been cooked. Who's here after he tortured Jake? Oh, so apparently people are commenting on Mr. Beast's videos, everything all together without any spaces in between, so it doesn't get automatically flagged.
Yeah.
Because if you put like Jake, boom, flag, gone. But they're just putting all who is here after he tortured Jake, and it's all one word, so it doesn't get picked up by the filter.
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny. Torture. Justice for Jake. Stop hiding the truth. Justice for Jake. Mr. Beast violated Geneva Convention. Justice for Jake. That's crazy.
Yeah, now
They're
he's got to
getting
manually fucking delete those comments.
So let's see. 9 days ago, he posted something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that one, 141 million views. Holy shit, he's got 2.2 million dislikes. 2.2 million dislikes on that shit, dude. And Ethan Klein is playing in the Celebrity Poker Tournament. That's pretty cool.
Oh.
I'll watch the highlights after. But
Yeah.
I'm not watching a 4-hour stream right now. 2024.
I mean, our podcast
real.
is just going to be the H3H3 show. We're just going to stream
Yeah, straight
whatever
up.
he does. He's not even going to find the cameras.
Yeah, the worst partner I've ever seen. No sunlight for 100 days. We all miss old Mr. Beast. Freak bait. Wonder what 2025 holds. The trick to winning is not having a family to miss. Oh my god. Let me see. Yeah, there's not that many. We need Chandler back. Chandler.
Yeah,
blah,
they're
blah,
definitely
blah.
deleting
They're-
comments.
yeah,
Like, you see the top ones. They're
for sure.
definitely...
Let's sort by top comments. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Newest first. 11 minutes ago was the newest one, I guess. Huh. Come to India. There's just a bunch of comments in different videos in different languages. My goodness, I love Mr. Beast. Yeah, see, so that's the other thing. 99% of people, or sorry, I'll probably say like 70% of his viewers or more are either A, children, or B, just don't give a shit because
Yeah.
they're so like inclined to love him.
Or they also just probably don't care to look up anything. Like, how many YouTubers do you follow and kind of watch on the side where, like, you don't know any, like, you suddenly find some, like, breaking information and everyone in the community is like, oh, yeah, that was released, like, 7 months ago.
Yeah.
That was last year's controversy. Like, he's so big. Like, certain people are just not going to be in the loop, despite how big it is. Like, this isn't even making it to, like, you know, Channel 7 or whatever the fuck. Like...
No, this is not gonna be in the mainstream news at
Yeah.
all. I mean, okay, I guess the New York Times article was the most.
Yeah, but no one
mainstream.
reads the newspaper.
Willing to die for Mr. Beast and $5 million. Yeah, and they had to like sign away their rights and stuff. They were like, "I acknowledge I can die on this thing." You know, like
Yeah,
crazy.
like Vosh was like in a newspaper like that. Like no one reads the newspaper. No one's really gonna see that.
Yeah, Mr. Beast. But yeah, that's Mr. Beast. He's got too much money.
Yeah,
That's it. He's done.
It's good. This
Um,
isn't gonna affect his career at all, dude.
Of course not.
It's not.
Dude,
He's too big.
Okay, the allegations came out, and like 2 days later, he posted a video. But I'm assuming because he already had it scheduled and lined up and stuff, you
Mhm.
know, like pues ni modo. And it got 142 million views. Like, what are you gonna do
Sheesh,
about it?
yeah.
What are you realistically gonna do to
There's
stop
nothing.
someone? Like, it's like Musk withholding the passports of his kids so they can't see their dying grandma.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are you gonna do?
Nothing. Die. Cry about it.
Like, yeah,
That's-
you're gonna
that's what
fucking.
you're gonna do.
That's it. Unfortunately, like he's so needlessly cruel to his own flesh and blood, but he doesn't. I mean, we know he's a sociopath
Yeah,
slash
we already
psychopath. He
know.
doesn't care.
We already know.
He just wants the attention. But he was like, again, withholding the fucking passports from his children, and then they were on Twitter going, "Hey, this is like the ex-wife or the mom. This is the mom of the kids or whatever.
Mhm.
Can you please help? She's terminal, and we want to go and see them and stuff like that. You've been ignoring our emails, and our lawyer says you've been ignoring them too." And it's like, you can be a billionaire and just ignore people.
Yeah.
God, how is it that people at the highest level of the government and of the economy can just ignore their duties and or any responsibilities and just get away with it? Like Congress, I'm talking specifically about Republicans,
Yeah.
can just do nothing and go, we're going on recess and we're gonna there's gonna be a government shutdown and it's the libs' fault because they don't want to legalize the Ku Klux Klan and destroy abortion.
Yeah.
And it's like, you guys could just do your fucking job. In any other workplace, if you refuse to do your job, you get fired.
Yeah.
But in Congress, they get fucking paid vacations.
they get bonuses.
And again, this is just the right wing people because I know the Democrats try to play ball, but they stopped that now. Because now, Y'all weirdos. All y'all weirdos out there voting for Trump.
Literally
so
weird.
weird.
Literally
so fucking weird. Imagine.
To an extent, I do think it's like a self-selection bias, though. Like, they're not in those positions with those types of personalities by coincidence. It's those personalities that lets them get those positions. Like, Trump didn't become Trump. He didn't become president in spite of him, of like all the issues with him. He became that what he is right now because of how he is.
Yeah.
Like, they're just, I don't know.
Let me see. Article bypass Reddit. How do I bypass the paywall? Because I wanted to show you or read to you
Mm-hmm.
the where are you?
For a second, I thought that was a Mac.
Oh, the paywall. This one?
Yeah,
The laptop?
yeah,
No, it's so funny. It looks just like a Mac, but it's an Acer.
yeah.
And I just have the little Planet Express logo there. But yeah, it looks like. Tell me this doesn't look like a MacBook.
It's
Come on.
exactly like a MacBook.
It's
dude.
designed like a MacBook on purpose. People think I'm rich, and I'm like, haha, I'm on Windows. Fuck you.
I have
So,
a better operating system.
did you see Kamala Harris and Tim Walz? They had literally one of the biggest rallies was it Arizona or some shit
Mhm.
with like tens of thousands of people, right?
Dude, we can't stop winning.
We
I can't
cannot
stop winning.
I think you know what Trump, that weirdo, you know what he said? He was like, the large gathering of plainly evident people who greeted Vice President Kamala Harris, they didn't exist. They didn't exist. It's a fraud. It's a fraud. They didn't exist. It's a fraud, right?
Dude, Trump is so fucking cooked,
he's
dude.
so
He's
weird.
so cooked.
He's
He's
so
so
weird.
He started tweeting again. He's like on Twitter now. Like he's
Yeah.
not just tweeted. He's not just on True Social or whatever the fuck.
Dude,
that other one's
I'm
called.
getting fucking. I just got a deja vu whiplash because I swear to God, this exact statement that this is bonkers, even by Trump's own conspiratorial falsehood laden standards, that sent me for like, didn't we do this
What?
already? But I realized it wasn't over a crowd. It was over abortion. But I think I used this exact same website too. That's why.
Oh,
So
wait, why? What happened? What's
no. That's I got deja vu because I was like, didn't we already read this article? But obviously we didn't.
I see. I see
Deja
what you
vu
mean. I see what
whiplash,
you mean.
So the rally was attended by reporters from the Washington Post and other outlets who observed the large crowd, which was estimated at around 15,000 people. It was documented by plenty of videos and photos, including those from many people in the crowd. It was merely the latest in a string of bizarre claims from the former president in recent days, weeks, and months. It's difficult to truly compare the relative ridiculousness of Trump's claims over time, but there is no question he's pushed the envelope in new and astonishing ways. Trump has often made false claims about crowd sizes, but this was truly taking things to a new level by claiming nobody was there. Let's recap 10 of the most recent examples of Trump being a weirdo.
That's so
Or his weird
ludicrous, dude. That's
Dude,
so
so weird.
ludicrous that like it's so ludicrous that that's like what someone would say. Like if it wasn't Trump, you'd assume it was like an exaggeration. You'd
Yeah.
assume they're like, oh, they're
You're
just
like,
joshing.
How could anyone say that nobody was there?
Yeah,
And then the other one, there was this tweet from this right-wing dumbass who was like, oh, it was just confirmed that 100% of the people attending were Soros-paid actors. They've been training for this. And it's like, bro, like, how about you weirdos realize that maybe people actually want to have their fucking human rights, a.k.a. women, a.k.a. freedom of choice, right?
It's
And-
always Soros, dude. It's always
Yeah,
Soros.
always.
It's always.
And then someone in the comments of that was like, "Damn, I guess George Soros underpaid me because all they gave me was a bottle of water for being there, or whatever."
Yeah.
You know? And okay, I'm just gonna read you. I'm gonna read you this
Just read the
verbatim.
article. Just read the
There's no way for me to summarize Trump's weirdo quotes
better than
There's-
Harris has.
better than himself.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. That's
So
it.
number one, right? Harris's rallies, they didn't exist. Nobody was there, right? Has anybody noticed that Kamala cheated at the airport? There was nobody at the plane, and she AI'd it and showed a massive crowd of so-called followers, but they didn't exist. She's a cheater. She had nobody waiting, and the crowd looked like 10,000 people. Same thing is happening with her fake crowds at her speeches. Look, we caught her with a fake crowd. There was nobody there. On Truth Social, right?
Yeah, of course.
Some conspiracy-minded Trump allies were analyzing the reflections on the underside of Harris's airplane, which didn't appear to show many people, right? But it's, you know why? It's because the plane was angled away from the crowd. But either way, the rally was live streamed, documented in real
I was gonna
time.
say there's so many millions of reasons
Exactly.
as to
We've
why
already-
like a reflection wouldn't show up on a plane. Like
Yeah.
this is a
Okay.
bird could have shitted in the area, and then
Yeah.
that would have been enough to stop a reflection. Like
And the fact that
Uh.
weirdo Trump went, he didn't say the crowd was augmented to be bigger. He said that nobody was there.
yeah,
Like, if he had gone, oh, they manipulated it to add more people, okay, whatever, conspiracy,
yeah.
right? But he was like, nah, fool, nobody was there.
He's
Okay.
missing the key lime sauce in the key lime pie of like
Yeah.
conspiracy theory. You
Yeah.
have to have plausible deniability. I don't know if there were no people there. I do know that you
Exactly.
CGI. Like he doesn't know what any of those words mean.
His-
He doesn't.
His second weird claim: Biden prepared to have the FBI assassinate Trump. Crooked Joe Biden's DOJ, in their illegal and unconstitutional raid of Mar-a-Lago, authorized the FBI to use deadly, lethal force. Now we know for sure that Joe Biden is a serious threat to democracy. May 21st on Truth Social. You know, they're just itching to do the unthinkable. Joe Biden was locked and loaded, ready to take me out and put my family in danger. May 21st in a fundraising email. And this is before the assassination attempt, mind you.
I'm just imagining Biden in like fucking camo gear with like because he
All right,
didn't-
boys,
he,
get him. You know?
he didn't say that he was planning. He said Biden was gonna take the shot.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
he said
Clue me
that they
in.
authorized the FBI,
Oh,
right? But-
okay.
But it's
I
like,
misunderstood.
No, yeah, and the second one he said like Joe Biden was locked and loaded, ready to take me out.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's I get you. Right?
Yeah.
He's like,
He's
well,
like-
well, Jack, if you want kids jumping on your lap and you want to get shot,
Dude, what's the? It's not Air Force One. What's the limo version of that? Where like the car that the president in it has like a special name.
it's called
Ground Force One.
blah blah blah. Where is it? Ground Force One. I don't know what it's called.
It is Ground Force One.
It's the unofficial code name for the black armored buses used to transport the president of the United
Yeah.
States and other
Okay.
dignitaries.
So ground.
That's pretty
I
funny.
can just imagine Biden in Ground Force One, just like busting down the door and fucking firing on him, like.
I guess it's technically the presidential state car, Cadillac One. There we go.
Cadillac One.
The Beast, Cadillac
Beast.
One. Holy shit! Look at that beefy
Just Biden-
motherfucker.
Just like Biden in the back seat, like they ram the fucking car into fucking Trump's podium.
Can you?
They step out, just
Okay, like you
get
can't-
out of
you-
the car.
Yeah, you can't really tell, but the doors are so fucking thick. Obviously, right?
Mhm.
They learned a little after JFK was like mind blowing.
Yeah.
So another one where he was like, he said, Democrats' messaging is to blame for the assassination attempt on Trump.
Of course.
Ah, yes.
They suddenly
all
understand
of the
stochastic.
left-wing calls to violence that we've heard,
Yes.
right, overwhelmingly on Twitter and Truth Social. Wait a minute. I think those were right-wing accounts, but let's go. Remember the words they use. They're a threat to democracy. They've been saying that about me for 7 years. I think I got shot because of that. Okay.
They suddenly understand stochastic terrorism.
Uh,
Suddenly.
There remains no evidence that the July 13th shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks, that was a month ago?
Yeah.
Fuck!
That's so long ago, dude.
And it's funny. I was at Disney when it happened,
Yeah.
and I saw Walter post about it, and I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
I was like, this nah. And I was like, and I saw him fall down. I was like, no. And then there's more conspiracy theories that he didn't even get hit in the ear.
Yeah.
So-
Dude, those ones are so funny, dude. I see them on TikTok it's like there's two main conspiracies and one is just a joke. The one that's just a joke is that Biden and Trump are actually lovers. Like because and that or at least the way I came onto that was because Melania, like we found out that Melania gets paid like $10,000 for every single like appearance, and like his kid Barron Trump gets paid like $5,000 for every appearance or some shit. Like he has to pay for them to be there. If they don't get paid, they don't show up. And with the amount of stuff that like Trump has been posting on True Social, despite Biden already like leaving, having left the office, or like not left the office, but like not running again.
Yeah.
People are just basically saying that they're actually lovers behind the scenes. That despite their
funny.
differences, they're
I like
shipping
that.
it together. They're making like AI photos of like Trump and Biden kissing. They're It's so
I'm not
funny.
even mad. That's amazing.
It's glorious.
His other weird post.
The Yowie shippers really took off with that one.
His next weird claim: Biden will try to reclaim the Democratic nomination. What are the chances that crooked Joe Biden crashes the Democratic National Convention and tries to take back the nomination, beginning with challenging me to another debate? Can you imagine? He feels that he's made a historically tragic mistake by handing over the U.S. presidency, a coup,
That
to the
post-
people in the world he most hates, and he wants it back now. I hear he's going to make a comeback at the Democratic Convention. He's going to walk into the room and he's going to say, I want my presidency back. I want another chance to debate Trump. I want another chance. So, mumbo jumbo aside,
This is why everyone is shipping him. This is one of the main like.
he's like, I miss
posts.
you, crooked Joe
Yeah.
Biden.
Like, oh,
I miss you,
Daddy,
Dark
come
Brandon.
back, please.
Can you
Please.
imagine? I would love it if he shows up to the convention and goes, Trump, I want to debate you. I'm taking this nomination back. And everyone's like, and then he's like, just kidding. That would be really fucking funny. And okay, my respect for Biden has skyrocketed since he said he was resigning,
Yeah.
right? Because he said he had to resign for the good of the American people because he's putting the country over himself, which is the most like selfless thing to do,
Mhm.
right? You're putting country above yourself versus this
I agree.
fucking almost 80-year-old weirdo, the oldest Republican nominee
the oldest
in
nominee
history.
in history. Period.
The oldest nominee, the oldest running person, running for
presidential candidate.
the oldest presidential candidate in history, who is fucking weird and crazy, right?
Dude, he's regretting that JD Vance pick.
Oh, it's so bad. We'll get to that right
Yeah.
now. And the fact that he's like going, bring me back the old man, and he's going like, oh, now I can't attack Kamala because my plan was just to attack Biden by saying he's old. And it's like,
Yeah.
have you looked in the
We
mirror,
spent
you fucking
$150
idiot?
million attacking Crooked Joe, and now they
Yeah.
have someone else there, Kamala.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he said his January 6th crowd was bigger than Martin Luther King's.
Dude, Martin
Imagine,
Luther King's
dude.
I think is it daughter or is it one of his family members was on Twitter being like, get my relative's name out of your mouth.
Out your fucking mouth. Yeah. For reference, MLK, or sorry, okay. So the House January 6th committee estimated Trump's people around 53,000, right?
Mhm.
During his rally or whatever. Martin Luther King's March on Washington speech had 250,000 people. 250,000, for reference, 5 times bigger. So, yeah.
Well, that
Democrats-
happens when you're actually.
Yeah. Democrats
You know?
want to allow killing babies after birth. Other countries are emptying their prisons and sending criminals to the U.S. Harris only recently identified as black. Trump went down in a helicopter with Willie Brown.
What? I had not heard of that one.
Biden faked COVID. Yeah, that's all the weird fucking claims he did. I don't know. It's like, with all this stuff coming in, how are you like?
There's too much.
There's too much weirdness.
Too much.
And then JD Vance was in drag.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I think you sent it in the chat actually.
I don't know. Maybe I did. But here he is in drag. I've obtained a photo of JD Vance in drag while at Yale Law School. Classic. And he's wearing a wig. He's wearing a dress. Slay, girl. And then
Honestly?
another 8 hours ago, another one popped up where he's really feeling himself in that one. I'm gonna throw that up on the screen. I'm gonna save this one. This is a good one. Okay, no, I'll save that one.
Dude, that's the shit.
And,
That's how I look in the car coming back. Like, oh yeah, I love my diet hair. Like that's that. Honestly,
And you know what's
Go,
the best
girl.
part? JD Vance's team won't comment on his viral drag photo.
of course not.
He evidently, not allegedly, evidently did some cross-dressing back in law school. And the Republican vice presidential nominee was wearing a blonde wig and dressed as a woman. It was posted on Twitter. It was trending. Sofa Loren.
It's always self-loathing, dude. It's always self-loathing. It's okay. It's
Do-
okay, JD.
do you-
Every egg cracks eventually.
Do you understand the Sofa Loren?
Yeah.
Because he fucked the couch,
Fucked the couch?
apparently.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, they reached out to see if the photo is real. The campaign did not deny its authenticity and refused to comment further. Oh my God! One of his
It's okay, girl.
classmates
It's
said the
okay.
picture was taken by another classmate in 2012 when they were all students, and he sent the photo to a podcast host and uploaded it to Twitter. Oh my God! There you go.
It's
Oh,
okay,
look at
girl.
that.
Every egg cracks eventually. You'll have your time to shine, JD. We won't let you win
Here
so you
are
can.
the receipts. Screenshot of photos of events. So they have the screenshot of the actual photo on the guy's phone because he
Mhm.
took the picture of him, and then the actual, and then with a timestamp and everything. No AI on this one, bitch. Yeah, that's so fucking funny. My goodness. What? I mean, I don't know. Well, JD Vance also called Trump Hitler, which apparently
Yeah.
doesn't phase him. But then you go, he's weird, and then they're like, the left wing people are name calling us. Like,
It's
Cry
because
about
weird
it,
doesn't.
Snowflake.
It's because weird doesn't sound badass. If someone calls you weird, you have to like be able. You have to have like a certain degree of like self-esteem to be able to own being called weird.
yep.
Like,
Because they're like fascists. Yeah, if Trump,
Yeah.
if loving my country makes me a fascist, then yeah. But it's like you're weird.
yeah, it's like
They start crying.
Yeah.
So fucking funny. The-
brittle people.
The one I sent in the chat was let me see. It was the double standards. Fuck, I don't think I sent it actually. I think I just saw it on Reddit. But basically, they're like, oh, yeah, it was posted on r/NotTheOnion. For reference, that subreddit is when a ridiculous headline that is 100% real appears that you think, oh, this has to be The Onion, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
The Onion posts satirical articles that they'll go, oh, no way to prevent this, says only country where this regularly happens, which is an article about school shooting. Because, again, this is the only country where that regularly
Yeah.
happens, right? No way to prevent this. Thanks, NRA. And this Not The Onion post essentially said, right-wing people upset and calling upset over weird and claiming that Democrats are name calling them and taking the low road. But I don't mind that because I'm glad that they're not taking the high road anymore because the high road's
Yeah.
taking us nowhere. Now Kamala can go up there and go, bitch, fuck
You're
you.
weird.
And then Tim Walz can go, hey, I hope he can get up off the couch if he's not too busy
Aw,
fucking it. And everyone's like, ah. I have never seen. Okay, not never. Okay, maybe in my lifetime. In my
lifetime, yeah,
lifetime,
definitely.
no. Okay, because Obama was pretty monumental, but I have not seen these many people galvanized since like Obama.
Yeah.
And I will
Yeah.
never forget.
I
the-
feel to an extent they're more energized than
Yes,
they were with Obama.
I think so because
Yeah.
I saw the vote, the way people voted. More people voted for Biden in 2020 than like ever in U.S. history, right? Which of course, yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot more people on the earth, but whatever. And we're gonna have there are gonna be millions of new eligible voters that are
and that's
coming
with
out.
not feeling Joe Biden. Because if you remember, like
Yep.
back to the 2020 race, nobody wanted Joe Biden.
They were like, "Fuck,
Nobody
all right,
wanted
I
him.
guess we
Yeah,
just don't
it's
want
like-
Trump." And it was the same thing this year. Everyone's like, "Fuck, I guess we
Mhm.
don't want Trump." And now Kamala's going, "No. Not only do we not want Trump, we don't want his dangerous and weird Project 2025." And Trump's like, "I don't know anything about it. I don't know what that is."
I don't know.
And then we have the receipts with him being with the Project 2025
They were
guy.
part of his administration, dude.
Literally.
they literally informed part of the laws that he put into place.
And
Oh, do you have
like
do you have
you,
a splinter?
it's the.
Oh, it looked like a splinter.
No. It's like the equivalent of going, oh, as the CEO, I had no idea that any of these things were happening. I maybe copied in the emails, but I receive so many emails every day. It's like, dude, you really
I
think
didn't
anything
know
happens?
Not turning off the lights was congenial.
Exactly. I didn't know it was against the Geneva Convention. No one ever told me. Did you bother to research it? No, but no one ever told me.
I was
My God.
uninformed.
Exactly. I'm just a silly little guy. I'm uninformed. We threw a little coup. It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's what
fine.
it is.
It don't matter.
Yeah, he can't plead the TikTok broccoli
Yeah.
boy defense, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, he is not just a little guy.
Exactly. If he actually was a little guy, then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically it. JD Vance is
I do
weird.
feel to an extent
Tim
super
Walz is great.
vindicated about Joe Biden dropping out when he did. Because
Dude, remember I told you initially, like my gut reaction was like, oh shit, now what? Oh my god, what's gonna happen? And then he endorsed Kamala, and I was like, well, okay, I guess. And then Kamala came out and was like, we have to unite as a country and stop him. And I was like, fuck, she's right.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's right. She's right. Right.
Like, I feel so vindicated because I was like, they can't just swap Biden out. Something has to happen. Just calling for him to get swapped out isn't going to get him swapped out because he's an incumbent, right?
You said
Like
that like
that.
a week before it happened. By the way, I want to note on this very podcast, the title was "Should They Drop Out?"
Oh, yeah.
A fucking week later, he drops out, and we're like, "Oh shit, election interference?" No, we didn't. I swear we didn't.
It's because something needed to happen, and I'm telling you, I sort like we're in like 20 years, not 20 years, maybe in like 5 or 10. When did the Kofivi thing happen for
Oh
Trump
my
during his
God.
presidency? Like
Fucking 2017, I don't
about
know.
that much time after. So like 2-3 years, like after if Kamala wins in like 2-3 years,
2017.
we're,
Yep.
we're gonna get exposés from like the White House, and it's gonna be like, oh yeah, the Trump getting shot was like a sign of weakness. Like the Democratic Party took it as a sign of weakness, and they felt confident that replacing Biden wouldn't hurt them that much at that point. Like the weakness that Trump showed, in particular, like from the gunshot itself, from like almost getting assassinated. In addition to like his low energy post that, like his appearances after that, where he was very like yeah guys, we can go, like the soup, like it showed an incredible amount of weakness, and the Democratic Party 100% picked up on that. Like the insiders, like the main group of people, like fucking what's her face, Nancy Pelosi and shit, like
Yeah.
they definitely 100% picked up on like the change in tone, the weakness he showed after, and took that as the opportunity to switch Biden out. Like you can't just do things like that. That doesn't, like, stuff doesn't just work that way.
Yeah.
It's just like, but like,
And so you say he's the oldest, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is 78. Holy shit. Trump is 78 years old. This would be elder abuse anywhere else.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
uh,
So Trump at 78. Tim Walz, for reference, right? Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, is 60 years old, right?
18 years younger, a full adult,
He-
younger dude.
He could run. He could serve all 4 years. He could serve 8 years right
Yeah.
now, and then run for president and serve a full 8 years and still be younger than Trump currently is. He could serve 4 sessions, 2 as vice president and 2 as president, and still
18
be
years.
younger.
Sorry,
16
fucking-
years.
yeah.
He could serve for 16 more years and still be younger than Trump currently
Dude,
is. For reference.
That's insane. And you know what? Tim Walz is. I feel like Tim Walz is a little bit too. I like him. I like that he's the one running.
That's not. He's
But
not terrible.
60?
60 is not bad at all. Not bad at all. For the next 8 years or so, that's not terrible.
Yeah, no, I know
'Cause
it's not terrible.
I-
68, but I
Yeah.
feel like that's the upper limit. Like, you get me?
Well,
like
fucking-
I don't think that someone that's serving as vice president or president, like any of those high-ranking positions, should be over the age of like over 60s, like 100%. Like 60s is like the upper limit
Yeah.
that they should be. They should be around 40, around 50, maybe, like, around there.
You know what's fucking crazy?
Mm.
Theodore Roosevelt was the youngest. He was 42. Basically, he was 43 years old.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was 42 and some change. to be
That's
43.
reasonable. I think we should. You know what? I in this one case, I am a traditionalist.
You
Let's
know-
return to tradition.
You know what's weird though? I always thought JFK was the youngest. Because JFK at 43, I was like, okay, that's pretty young. Because I'm like, can you imagine
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
43-year-old running the country? But again, he fucking did it. And old Teddy Roosevelt was amazing. Well, relatively, right? But post-presidency time span for JFK was 0 days.
Yeah.
Because he died. Bill Clinton was the next youngest, 46, which I'm like, okay, right. That makes sense. Ulysses S. Grant, 46.
That's not bad.
Obama, 47.
46, 47. I think those are good
That's
years.
Perfect.
Those
Those
good
are
years.
some
Those
great
good
years.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah.
some great years.
You get your start in politics in your late 20s. You rise up the ranks.
Exactly.
In your 42, 45, you become president.
Well,
I think that's fine. I
Bush
think
was
that's
pretty
good.
young. George W. Bush was 54.
54.
Also,
Eh,
again, I mean,
that's
I know,
not bad.
I know he's a worker, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
right?
But for age,
yeah.
only in relation to age. Only in relation
Yes.
to age.
And the oldest right now, at the start of the presidency, was Joe Biden, right? And now we have Trump as the oldest, like 100%. Ronald Reagan was 69 years old. What the fuck?
That's too late.
That's too old.
I think if you're okay, like, I know I said in your 60s, but I think if when you win the presidency you're in your late 60s, I think that's too late. If
Yeah.
you're ending your presidency in your late 60s, okay,
That's
fine,
good. That's
fine.
good. That's not bad.
But starting,
Yeah. Holy shit! 25 years of age. Theodore Roosevelt was the youngest future president. What do you mean 25 years of age? That doesn't make any
Most
sense.
of our founding fathers were in their like 20s when they did their shit, if I remember correctly. Like they were young. Like, can you imagine right now at our age drafting the Constitution? Like,
Oh, holy shit! Theodore Roosevelt started his political career when he was 24.
mhm.
I just turned 27, dude, and I've
Yeah.
got cats.
You can't. I got cats. Dude,
I got cats and Lego sets, but also it's a very different time back then. But
Oh,
like, you can make
not,
money
not only
easier,
that, not only
whatever.
that, but Theodore Roosevelt was like relatively wealthy, right? Like his parents were relatively wealthy, if I remember correctly.
I don't know. I don't know enough about presidents, unfortunately. Sorry, guys.
But
Petty.
and also like
He was a
comparisons-
sickly child with debilitating asthma. Holy shit,
fuck, dude.
And
Yeah.
then he
Theodore Roosevelt is one of like the best presidents we've had, and he is still a war criminal. Like he's done shit like in the Panama Canal. Like
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Don't we don't talk about
We
that.
don't talk about that.
We talk about the parks, not the Panama Canal. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
There's two P's in Roosevelt's old Teddy's history. Call him Old Teddy P. All Teddy Parks, not Teddy Panama.
all Teddy
Um,
PP.
42. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leader of the
See, this is
progressive
good.
movement.
This is the ideal trajectory for someone running for office.
He was amazing because he called for fairness for all citizens, breaking bad trusts, regulating railroads, and pure food and drugs. He prioritized conservation and established national parks, forests, monuments, preserving America's national resources. In foreign policy, he focused on Central America, beginning construction on the Panama Canal. He expanded the Navy and sent the Great White Fleet on a world tour to project naval power. He ended the
what's that
Russo-Japanese War. He got a Nobel Peace Prize, the first American to win a Nobel Prize. He got a full term in 1904, and then yeah, that was.
Well, no, never ask a man what's in his wallet. Never ask a woman her age.
Never ask
a
Teddy
president-
Roosevelt what he did in Panama in 19.
No, never ask a good president what their foreign policy was.
Exactly. So, oh my goodness. Wait. He ran for 2 terms, and then Taft came over, and then
Mhm.
William Howard Taft was too conservative for him. So he ran again, because this is before they had the actual presidential limits. We're getting a little too much into history now. We kind of
He's the president that encapsulates why you can't run third party, because he came the closest.
Oh, he destroyed because of the split with the vote. The other guys fucking won.
Yeah.
Oh my
He
god.
got 49%, dude. 49, just shy. Teddy fucking Roosevelt. And he still couldn't win. Teddy fucking Roosevelt couldn't win the independent. What makes you think anyone else is going to be able to, okay, I
he
saw this
founded
Twitter post
a new
recently.
progressive party, Bull Moose Party.
Mhm. I saw this Twitter post recently that encapsulates my thoughts perfectly, to the T. Until these third parties start running down ballot, start running city council stuff and state elections, until they start doing that,
Yeah.
I think they're just grifters. I think no matter which one they're on, they're just grifters.
You know what the Bull Moose Party was for?
Mm.
It called for strict limits and disclosure requirements on political campaign contributions.
Oof.
Fuck!
Yeah.
Registration of lobbyists,
Mhm.
recording and publication of congressional committee proceedings, which they do nowadays, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
In the social sphere, he called for a national health service to include all existing government medical agencies. He wanted health care for all. I'm gonna scream. Okay.
I think I just can't. No.
No, I'm in despair right now.
Yeah.
Social insurance to provide for the elderly, the unemployed, and the disabled. Limiting the ability of judges to order injunctions to limit labor strikes. So that way judges can't limit labor strikes, right? Unions. He's for unions.
Yeah.
A minimum wage law for women. An 8-hour workday. A federal securities commission. Farm relief. Workers' compensation for work-related injuries. An inheritance tax. Political reform. Women's suffrage. Direct election of senators. Primary elections for state and federal nominations, easier amending of the U.S. Constitution.
All right, I'm gonna eat your cat.
He wanted direct democracy, the recall election where citizens can remove an elected official before the end of their term, a referendum where citizens can decide on a law by popular vote, and an initiative where citizens can propose a law by petition and enact it by popular vote. Judicial recall: if a court declares a law unconstitutional, the citizens can override that ruling by popular vote.
That's good.
Oh my
That
god.
one in particular, there's one thing that I think I think that we need to go more towards like the illusion that a non-direct democracy is something to be proud of. Like
Yeah.
I don't think that I don't think that like electing someone to then elect some like this chain of command that we kind of have where like everyone isn't deciding, like it's called literally like an indirect democracy. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good, and I don't think that's good for the long term. I do think direct democracy is the only form of democracy that should really be
How about
striven towards.
managed democracy? Worry not, citizen. For we manage democracy for your freedom. Broke till Friday.
We're broke till Friday. Goodbye, my friends. We'll see you next week. Now I'ma go and beat my meat. And we're broke till Friday. Bye, my friends. We'll see you next week. And now I'ma go and beat my meat. And we're broke till Friday.